Welcome to Daily Sourdough. Today I'm going to teach you how to feed your starter and what the terms fed and unfed starter mean. Always remember that you're working with living organisms who need to be fed just like you do. So if your starter is looking weak and lethargic like this, then that means it needs to be fed. In order for your sourdough starter to have enough energy and vitality to make your bread rise, it needs to be fed and then given a rest period to allow it to digest the food you just gave it. So we're going to make it really simple and show you how to feed your starter without even using a scale. Each time you feed your starter, you'll use 1 cup of flour and 1/2 cup of water. Today I'm just using all-purpose flour to feed my starter, but you can use a variety of flours to feed your starter. In fact, rye berries have the most wild yeast on them. Wheat berries also have a lot of wild yeast on them. The wild yeast on the berries and in the air are going to work together with the good bacteria that's also in the air and on all surfaces, are going to work together to help you digest that gluten and make your sourdough starter really lively and active. I like to use a variety of flours, so some weeks I'll use rye flour to feed my starter, some weeks I'll use fresh ground wheat flour, and then some weeks I'll use all-purpose flour. Since you're working with living organisms, pay attention to your environment. If your house is cold, use water that's just on the warm side. But if your house is hot, then cooler water will be just right. If your recipe calls for fed starter, that means you need to feed it 1 cup of flour and 1/2 cup of water, and then give it a 6 to 8 hour rest period before it's ready to use. If your starter has been sitting in the refrigerator dormant for a while, then take it out, let it come to room temperature, and then feed it. If a recipe calls for unfed starter, then that means you don't need to feed it before you use it in a recipe. Then after you've used your starter, you can either put it in the refrigerator to let it stay dormant again, or feed it, and then it will be ready for you to use again the next day. Okay friends, be sure and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my sourdough recipes or tips on how to use your sourdough starter daily.